Lentele, I took it from being hungry.
Sure.
From being hungry. I'm hungry, Chan.
Sure.
I'm hungry. And that buffet, I'm no one other. I'm hungry, Chan.
Sure. You're hungry for what?
I'm hungry for success. I'm hungry for growth. I'm hungry for perseverance.
Sure.
I'm hungry for change.
Sure.
I'm hungry, Chan. You know, I took it from hunger. Hunger can teach you things that you cannot even learn from school.
Rock bottom.
Yeah.
Can teach you things that the peak of the mountain.
We understand, yes. And through that process of hunger, it has taught me, Uguti, if you're waiting for something, it's not going to come to you if you don't go to it.
My name is Hendrik Lidoba. Welcome to another exciting episode of Influential Mondays with Mr. HL. First and foremost, we start by sending our deepest gratitude to you guys for being part of the family and choosing us. We appreciate the love and support. Today, I am hanging out with a very special brother. His name is Patson Mabunda, who was born and bred in Alexandra. He lost his mother 3 days after he was born, and to this day, Patson doesn't know his father. But despite all of that, he has been able to make something out of his life. He is a motivational speaker, a social entrepreneur, and an aspiring author. He has worked with the likes of DJ's Boo, Junior Kanye, and JP Ma Orange. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting up close and personally. Nentwana yase Gomora, Mr. Patson Mabunda. Welcome, bro.
Shakujan Matana.
Okay.
I'm not the
It is telling Mabunda.
I would say,
Is it true? Is it true?
It is true. It is true. When you open it, it does say it.
Let's go.
Say it. Yeah, could drink as a gas. Could drink as a gas.
So,
Could drink as a gas.
welcome, by the way.
No, thank you very much. I really appreciate the welcome, the warm welcome, the brother.
No, I appreciate you, my brother.
Sure.
Your work is what attracted me to you through
Sure.
social media. So I'm grateful that you came and made time for us, because I know that you're a very busy guy, always pushing it ahead.
Sure.
In MoFaya. Before we can get into the story behind MoFaya, I just want to know about your upbringing. When I say, Alex, did you do everything there? You grew up there, and how was it like?
Yeah, sure. No, Mkhulele Ekomora, that's where I started my primary school. That's where I grew up. Mkhulele Somamkhulu, one of my kids.
Sure.
So, being a young boy, was a gas, there's a lot of like influences, a gas. But thank God, Unkulunkulu has been so great to me and merciful to me. But I never got to really do a lot of things that other young people do. So I was always disciplined, and being out there, I grew up being so focused. So one great thing I can say about myself is that I would always call myself the abnormal kid. Yeah, because I didn't do the things that other people considered as normal.
Sure.
Izinto ezifana nokubhema, izinto ezifana nokuthi esikela ngizobloma ngaphandle ngingathinda amaklasi, yabona?
Sure.
And I grew up, man, being this, I would say, this special kid.
Is it because of the background, the fact that you lost your mom when you were 3 days? I mean, that's a tender age. Who intervened in your life? Because you don't know it, or someone had to step up in order for you to be raised.
Yeah, the person who really stepped up a lot, which I'm very grateful for, and it was also so unfortunate that, 2005, I lost her, who brought us up,
Sure.
So, but Nankona, she was someone who was carrying, who made sure we didn't pray, I look up to date, you wouldn't even be able to say or know, Nintoni Manabazan, everything seemed very warmly, and ngikhule ngiyintwana ethandwa abantu. Ngikhule ngile ntwana le ethandwa abantu. I was so silent and bengithandeka kahle. And I grew up being a church goer. How did it come? Abomamkhulu, abomagreza, they always say ukuthi mina umntana ongayi esontweni endlini yami akafuneki. Come Sunday uma ungafuni ukuya esontweni, ngiyakhiya uzobloma ngaphandle ngize ngibuye. Yabona, uzogawula mangibuya, uzongena mangibuya. So that's how I became a church goer. I was brought up under the Catholic faith, Sondo Lamaroma, and that's where I went to school. I was lucky enough ukusuka eKasi ngayisiwa in a private school. But unfortunately it happened in 2005 uMamkhulu Shona, and now there was no one to really look after me at that time. Whereby the background was a very scattered background. Whereby everyone in the family, there's that tendency ukuthi everyone is for themselves or for you nabantwana bakho, and at that time nobody wanted to take me in, because as I said, I grew up being this child that maybe appeared to be not a normal child to everyone. I never did things that other people did. I was so focused and scared and all that, so nobody really wanted to take me in. After Mamkhulu Shona, and everyone was like, no, who's gonna take him in? We're not ready, we don't want to take this guy in, So it happened, we would see there was a very good Catholic priest, a very, very good Catholic priest, may his soul rest in peace, so Father Ronald Keynes. He was a Catholic priest, and I guess, as you know, Catholic priests don't get married. They live a life of celibacy. They don't get married, they don't have children, they don't have wives.
Like a Pope.
Yes, like the Pope, and yes, and at that time, I was an altar boy in his parish, and this guy decided to take me in because he liked me. I was very respectful, humble, thandeka, black.
Why are you so sure about you being loved by people? Why have you across that?
It's because of izinto bezenzeka elifini yami. I could see myself.
Do you know what happened as we were walking towards this venue?
Sure.
They didn't know you, but they greeted you and they wanted to engage with you. Or maybe it's because of MoFaya, I don't know.
Let's say that. But one thing I know, I was taught a sense of humility.
Sure.
There's. I'm not saying that I'm humble or whatever, but there's people who find me to be very humble. There's people out there, when they look at me, they say I'm arrogant.
Sure.
They say I'm full of myself. It's not because of I'm full of myself, but also I think I've got that sense of overconfidence. I'm one person, I'm so self-focused. I believe, yes, and I go all out in what I want to do. And no matter how much you try and convince me to step out of whatever that I believe in, it's gonna take you, you're not gonna even win, let me tell you. I'm that guy, I don't easily get shaken by things, because I know what's inside me and I believe what's inside me.
You operate from within.
From within, we understand that. And for someone who's standing outside, unfortunately you're outside, you cannot tell me about what's inside.
Sure.
I understand. So if you come and say, no, you cannot be the next president, for an example, that's an unfortunate thing, because unfortunately whatever that you are telling me, it's coming from outside. I operate from inside within.
Sure.
I know what's inside this world.
Sure.
You understand? So I grew up being that boy, and unfortunately this priest took me in and he brought me up. I went to the best school ever, good private school, a Catholic school, and I graduated, did my matric, and then unfortunately in 2001, the priest got so old and he died. I really appreciate that priest wherever he is, because he has played a role of a father. Father Ronald Keynes.
Wow.
And that guy played a role of a father in my life. He was like my spiritual father, but at the same time, he was like my biological father. Because that guy loved me so much in such a way that no forces, could like stand against me,
Sure.
So it was that kind of a thing whereby he supported me. He he took care of me, and man, he was there in every step of the way, life in Yam, so it was that kind of a thing, and yeah, unfortunately died 2001, and in
Sure.
it was sad, it was heartbreaking for me, it was difficult, and it took me a number of years to actually accept that he's no longer there.
Okay, the fact that I hear about the father figure, that the type of person that you are and the role that he has played, right?
Yes.
Mara, you don't know it, Malako.
Yes.
As Intuan, how did that make you feel?
I guess for every young man, it's painful.
Sure.
To know with the time and then just approve me life. But me being a young man or confident, I would say I grew up without noticing. I grew up having a gift in me, whereby to me, kwabanye abantwana I appeared to be a strange person because I would know things that would happen to a person way before they happen, and I would know how they're gonna happen and where. So that thing, it didn't really sit with other kids very well. I remember one day there was once an incident whereby together, and I told one of them like, because usibani uzochaswa imoto and machaswa imoto bazodu, and guess what, that thing, it happened exactly after. I wouldn't really say that, but I've got that type of a spiritual
gift.
Type of I don't know whether to call it a gift or what, whereby I would know certain things. And I would see certain things way before they even happen.
It's almost like you have a spiritual eye.
Type of a thing, yeah.
Sure.
And when I grew up, I came to discover that my father was an artist. No, he's late, unfortunately. It's a so that's where now this whole thing, the artistic thing, in confidential, bring an abantu and all that, it came from. That's when I discovered, the artistic thing within me, that's a gift that I got from my father's genes. And then I discovered, Utuma Kriza, she was a seer. I'm sorry. So a seer, I would say someone like Oinyama type of a thing, and she could also tell things before they happen. Exactly. And yes, it came from there. And I discovered she was good in music actually. And then I've got this thing whereby I can combine ama sounds, and out of them I can come out with a beautiful sound. It can make, in the most difficult moments whereby I feel I want to give up, there's this thing whereby I can combine a sound, and then at the end of the day I can have hope out of it. It's difficult, but I know
Sure.
I've got that thing. I don't. I'm this person. I don't need someone who don't convince I know it from within, and I can bear pain.
I feel like, I think we'll get into the brand. I feel like maybe that's an influence from DJ's book. How did you start selling MoFaya and working with wood?
Starting the whole journey of MoFaya, this was in 2016.
Sure.
MoFaya was introduced, who started selling MoFaya in the street. And it happened that in 2016, this is how it happened. I lost my job. I was working in a very good company, which I won't mention names.
Sure.
We're not really promoting certain companies, but I was working for a certain company. Yeah, it's so when Spanela the company, Spana Grand, where I even managed to buy my first car, a Corsa, and in 2016 I lost it all, madam. I lost it all. It was about 3 to 4 months after my son was born. I lost it all. And when I lost it all, I saw this opportunity. I used to follow Sbu on Facebook. I saw Sbu, selling in the streets. And at that time, they were mocking the guy. They were laughing at the guy.
It was not approved SAPS.
It was not approved in this job, and that's when eventually he lost his job in SAPC.
Yeah,
Wometref FM. Sure. And little did people realize, actually that's a breakthrough for him. God knew. God knew where he was putting the guy.
So sometimes in life you have to lose in order to gain.
Exactly.
Because through him leaving Metro, he even started his own radio station,
a massive Metro, yes.
It was more of a blessing. And you look at the grandfather,
it's fair.
Was this FDA approved? It can be taken to US now.
Yeah, understand.
From selling estrate.
And you look at the MoFaya, you can go in any province, in any gas, from here to Katlehonto. There's no street corner on here was toilet. We are in every street corner.
I know, via, like I follow you on social media, so work is like you are everywhere.
Yeah, it's all thanks to MoFaya Holdings. It's all thanks to MoFaya Beverage Company. It's all thanks to people like Hotman DJ Sbu.
Sure.
I'll forever be grateful to him.
Sure.
Because Hotman saw potential in me, and this is how he came to see potential.
Sure.
So I saw this platform where I'm to buy and all that, and I was like to myself, no man, I can do this better.
Better than Sbu.
Yeah, I can do it 10 times for you. And not to say Sbu was no big, plan the Sbu
Sure.
And 99% of the tactics I've learned from Hotman. I've learned from Sbu. Yeah. So I've learned the 7 steps of selling. With the customer, how do you approach a customer, how do you engage, how do you seal the deal. So it happened with at that time social media was booming, especially Facebook, Gunama Live, Sure. So I did the same thing that he did. I got one of my friends, Pega mina mangipayisa wena uzongilandelela nge-camera phone ungishuthi video, and then mina ngizowa-editela ama-video ngiwaposte ku-Facebook.
Sure.
So it happened one day, there was this guy from Ekasi, igama lakhe uPonzo, bekavale iimpintshi zakhe, mina ngibhizi ngiyabhayisa erobotini. Bafika erobotini bavalele libe-ready. Maliba-ready, bathi mfethu sikama MoFaya 5 la. Ngiye mina ngigijima ngikhipha ama-MoFaya ukukhula ngibabhayisele. Ngithola ngishaya iy'tayela zami vele zokubhayisa. Kanti one of the friends, he's taking a live video on Instagram. Ubhizi, he's taking a video while I'm selling to them. And he tagged Sbu in that video. And that's how Sbu got to see me in Donny Plan.
Sure.
And then he went and responded to the friend, Lendwana le bhayiselele MoFaya, Mjita washuta say Alexandra, Lendwana mani ifuna nizoyithola endaweni so. And guess what? Sbu literally sent Amachita to come and look for me.
Sure.
And that's when I became part of the MoFaya Hustlers team.
Sure.
And when they started doing my activations, they called me through, I went there, and that's how I got to be recognized by MoFaya, and it worked out very well, and till to this day, I've been part of MoFaya for over 8 years now.
So your incentives, do you get paid by MoFaya or you make money by selling MoFaya strategy?
I literally work for MoFaya.
So you are part of the brand?
Yes.
Maria Paisa.
At the same time, yes, Paisa is a side hustle.
No. That's nice. I think one thing, I personally, I've never met Usbude, but I think the work that he has done for the youth of this country, I know that not everyone is a fan of Sbu, but
yes.
You look at Slef, what he has done,
yes,
helping people to be educated. Most young people, especially from Makasana, people like myself, I think even Kasilkabo West, we resonate with him because of the kasi, even the slogan in the MoFaya,
yes.
Country Kasi Gas.
Country, sure.
So I think personally for me, someone that I admire and respect because of the role that he has played in South Africa. So how Ngutin, how has MoFaya changed your life when personally, and the lessons that you took from being part of such a big brand? I mean, it's a brand that is going globally now.
MoFaya has played a very huge impact in my life because of, at the end of the day, Mangachela 3 MoFaya managed to do things that not even someone who works for the company can do.
Sure.
There's a lot that I've achieved, you know, which most times I don't really like to really mention certain things, but all I can say is I've turned out to be successful. I've turned out to be very successful, and success in most times, abantu they tend to measure success in English wrong. You know, they tend to think when you say you're successful, you gotta be having the big car, you gotta be having the big house. And I mean, let me tell you, I'm still in Sekas in a mind. Even if I become the next billionaire, I'll still be a gas. Yes, I will have that private house wherever, but a gas is where I'll always be rooted and based. You know? Because in success, you measure it with the number of lives that you impact, not with the material that you've got.
I think this guy, have you read my book?
No, not really.
Because like I wrote there's a chapter where I wrote about success. Success is about making a difference. There's a quote that Will Smith like saying, if you're not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time on earth. Your life will become better by making other people's lives better. If you look at people like Abu Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, their success is what you're speaking about, the lives or the impact that they were able to do or have an impact in other people's lives, and which is something that you resonate with because that's how you say you measure your success. Because I saw in your profile too, when your success is about changing other people's lives.
Yeah, basically, I'm one person. I was taught never to be self-centered.
Sure.
I was taught that if you want to be successful in whatever you do it for the good and the service of others. Then that way you will grow. How do you grow? You need to understand, if I'm doing this for you, right, you having this, you'll be able to create something out of it. And when you create something out of it, you will be able to give back to someone else. It becomes what? A chain.
Sure.
It's like, basically, it's a chain. Nobody goes broke, basically.
Sure.
You know, nobody goes broke. It's a matter of
Sure.
You understand that? It's like me. You look at it. Gunabantu who played an impact in life in the army, right? And I'm taking the same impact. I'm basically sending it through to abanye abantu. Do you understand? So into njalo madala. So what I get given, I pass it on to others.
Sure.
It's like the more I become successful, the more I go up. I don't just go up with the ladder. I actually bring down the ladder to those who are down there.
Sure.
So that's the whole idea. You look at people like Abu DJ Smith.
Sure.
He's played a very huge impact. He's still playing him.
Sure.
You understand? He's still playing an impact. One man who never grows successful alone. In his success, look at how many guys from Ekas he has pulled through. I mean, there's the likes of about the late Pro Kid, about the late Brown Dash.
Sure.
I mean, these are the guys that he pulled through up, you know, when he was climbing the ladder of success, you know. And, you know, I mean,
I forgot his name.
I'm not sure with the name. Lepron something.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. You look at such young men,
Sure.
you know, I mean, they're making it through his impact.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
So, hence I say with this success, it's not all about the number of cars you've got, the watch you've got.
Sure.
Mama Pega, 99% of the people let me say who are wealthy who wear the most expensive watches, drive the most expensive cars. 99% of them, they might be wearing the most expensive watches and all that. But go and ask yourself, do they actually have time for anybody? They're wearing the most expensive time in the world. You know? But they hardly have time. Mama Bapega, 99% of them, they've got time to be posting the most expensive wines and all that. They go with the system, but they hardly have time to impact anybody's life. You know, all you'll read about Guti Uzbanban, he just bought a 2 million bottle.
I need to people differ. Like how you define your success, it will be different from the next person. Like what we are saying now, the concept of saying success is about impacting other people. Some people they don't operate from that perspective. Yeah.
It also goes with how when your success came. When was there someone who played a role in life in your for you to become? You know, as you're saying, I'm fully agreeing with what you're saying. It also depends on the background. You know, so reason why I'm doing that, it's because of the background of how I became a better person, how I became a better young man and successful. It's because of there's an impact background that is there. Like other people had to help,
and someone took your hand and said,
so yes.
So now you want to do the same.
Yes, it has to be a chain, you know, because I'm from that background whereby somebody held me by hand, and I believe it's my duty. It's not a must, yes, but because of the person that I am and the way I was brought up, I feel it is necessary and important that I should hold another person's hand. You understand? Somebody taught me how to say. Why not teach somebody else? Why not teach you how to sell? Why not teach you how to convert a stone into cash? Why not teach you how to convert an empty can of MoFaya into cash? Yes, we understand. And that's what my book that I'm aspiring to actually publish, which it's going to be coming up very soon. It's going to be called How to Convert a Stone into Cash. The heading of the book.
Is it based on your life journey, or is it about sales and selling?
It's both. It's both.
Sure.
Whereby I'll be telling people all the information will be there. Where you come from doesn't really determine where you're going.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, it will be explaining all the principles of my lives, like the principles of the 3Ds.
Sure.
People tend to ask me, why do you always say you've got the principle of the 3Ds? Because they are the principles of success.
Sure.
And people wonder, 3Ds, what does it stand for? It's basically discipline, dedication, and determination.
Sure.
A lot of people, they don't achieve because they miss to have the principle of the 3Ds.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when are you publishing the book?
My book will be published actually on my birthday, which is E9 December.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah. No, because you know why? It's because of in my book I'll be working with professional people.
Sure.
And people don't understand one thing with the book. You can't be writing a book. Someone even advised me, you can't be writing a book if you don't read books.
Sure.
And go and research. You know, for instance, I'm mingling with the likes of yourself.
Sure.
Because I know you're already an author. There's a reason why. Because I know there's a lot that I can learn from you. You understand?
Sure.
So that's the reason why my book is going to take time before it pulls.
Yeah, but readers are leaders. So the more you write, the more you want to develop and become better.
Yes.
And I think it's important because now you still have time. Like that's 5 months into the year, so you still have like 5 months.
Yes.
So like writing, editing, those things they take time.
Proofreading.
Sure.
And people don't know it's actually
Sure.
It's a journey, it's work, and you gotta enjoy the journey.
Sure.
And people just think being successful it's a great thing. You will be successful. one thing I want young people to learn
Sure.
and know. They are so lucky for us to have these type of platforms because you tend to hear my story now. Who's this guy? And most times in the world of success, you see us out there significant the platform of how we became successful. But there's a secret that you don't get told every time with successful people. They'll always give you the clear picture, the beautiful picture that you want to see. But we don't tell you about the sad picture.
Sure, yeah.
We don't tell you about the painful story. You know?
Public success.
Yes.
Private failure.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know? And Mama Pega, all these people who are successful, they went through the same process of, that phase of pain, failure, rejection. And people don't know, Oti, in order for you to be successful, you gotta be immune. You need to be immune to such things, rejection. You gotta be immune to failure.
Outweigh those things.
You gotta be immune to dark days. You gotta be immune to days whereby things will not work out.
Sure.
We don't tell you those things, Oti. Sometimes things will not work out. Sometimes you will feel like giving up. Sometimes it will be like a stormy weather, or sometimes it will be like nobody favors you.
Sure.
Nobody wants to see you.
Sure.
Some others will tell you, no, we don't believe in what you do, get out of our offices. Sure. Those things will happen and it's normal. You will make the best presentations but still get rejected.
Sure.
You will be told you are the best but still get rejected.
Sure.
People will tell you, oh, you're the best, you're blind, then you're blind, but then at the end of the day, you will still get rejected.
Sure.
You will still get rejected.
Sure.
So you gotta be immune to such things.
Sure.
You gotta be immune to such things which you will get rejected. You will be told no. You will be told you're not gonna make it. You will be told no, you can't do this. You will be told you cannot do this. But people need to be immune and know at the end of the day, before the word can't, it's actually can. Before it becomes can't, it becomes can.
Sure.
So it's that kind of a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I love the wisdom that you have, the confidence that you have. Let's speak about sales. You are saying sales is going to be part of your book.
Yes.
We touch about this whole thing of selling because it's different from this setup, the formal setup. Like you set up as a gas. When you sell a startup thing, it's not an easy thing because you get to meet with different personalities. There are people that don't like MoFaya, for example. Maybe we have a approach a big seller pansy. But with you are fired up. How did you get that skill in terms of sales? Because not everyone can sell and convince people to buy into their product.
Lentele, I took it from being hungry.
Sure.
From being hungry. I'm hungry, Chan.
Sure.
I'm hungry. And that buffet, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hungry, Chan.
Sure. You're hungry for what?
I'm hungry for success. I'm hungry for growth. I'm hungry for perseverance.
Sure.
I'm hungry for change.
Sure.
I'm hungry, Chan. I took it from hunger. Hunger can teach you things that you cannot even learn from school.
A rock bottom can teach you things that the peak of the mountain.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. And through that process of hunger, it has taught me, Uguti, if you're waiting for something, it's not going to come to you if you don't go to it. And that is why you cannot sell MoFaya or anything when you're expecting people to come to you. There might be one or two that will come to you. But in basic fact, you need to go to the people.
Sure.
You need to go to the people. I'll give you an example in China. For instance, the podcast had to go out of its way and investigate and research. And that's how they found me. But if they said, they were not going to find me.
Sure.
Do you understand? And I had to also do the research. Okay, the studios of the podcast. an address had to be sent to me. I had to research the address 3 days before I actually come to the studio. Is it legit?
Sure.
Is it in the right building?
Sure.
Is it in the right place? Is it safe for me to be there? You understand?
Sure.
And that's why I'm here today. You understand? So, Yonkinto, it goes with you going out to it.
Sure.
So if you don't go out, nobody will come out for you. You need to go out there. Go out there. And if you go out, whatever that you're going out for, it will come to you. It's like a success in China. It's like this. Yabona le, it's a can. Le, it's a glass.
Sure.
This MoFaya in here, it's not gonna get to this glass if I don't bring this glass to the can.
Sure.
You understand? So the more I bring the glass closer, the closer does the can go. By the time it's a collusion, same thing in success.
The laws of attraction.
Where it's the law of attraction. That's the key, madam. You know, the closer you walk to your dream, the closer your dream walks to you. The faster you run to the dream, the faster the dream runs to you. And by the time you realize you've collided with your dream,
the energy that you give out there will come back to you.
Exactly. You understand?
Sure.
I always tell people, I've said this even 5 years ago.
Sure.
I'm a millionaire, madam. Millionaire.
Dannko.
I might not even express it whether I've got the million in my account or not.
Sure.
That's a story for another day. But me, I'm a millionaire.
Sure.
Yeah. Because why in success, into ifuna, we are busy into ifuna.
Sure.
We are busy into ifuna. We are busy umqondo kuphela. Uzi imagine so that you know the way you carry yourself. You can see the way I carry myself. I mean, I'm a millionaire. The way I talk,
sure.
I speak like a millionaire.
You speak life.
I think like a millionaire. I move like a millionaire. I speak life to myself. Why? Because that's who I am. I'm important. I'm special. I'm honest. I'm a businessman. I'm a millionaire. I'm a bomb in the making.
Cheers, sir.
We understand?
Sure.
Because lento le awuyikhulumi kuphela and imagine it kuphela. At the same time wenzani ufaka ispan.
Sure.
Ufaka ispan, uyabona like namanye ngenzani ngiyaspana.
Asalaweli.
Ngisespana. The whole thing of imagining uhalela abanye abantu ngiyaspana kumanje.
Sure.
Ngisespanini manje.
Sure.
So you don't just imagine ukhulume ngezinto kuphela and say things and not implement and have no consistency. No. Abantu ababhaya they lack because of inconsistency.
Yeah.
You lose the consistency, you lose everything. Because once you don't have the consistency, you're gonna lose discipline. Once you don't have discipline, you're gonna lose the communication. Once you lose the communication, you lose what? A connection.
Sure.
You understand? So all these things, they go together. And people tend to misunderstand the concept of discipline. Discipline, it doesn't mean, no, you gotta be, Samaria. No, discipline doesn't mean you don't do the normal things that everyone does. I do the normal things that everyone does. I go out, I mingle namachita, I go dancing sometimes now, like everyone. I listen to Amapian like everyone else.
Sure.
You understand? But the difference is, I know when to do certain things and when not to do certain things.
Sure.
You understand? Like manja, I know I'm supposed to be here. This is a commitment.
Sure.
I can't say when I'm supposed to be here, when I'm somewhere outside in another place. That's not consistent. This isn't easy to as Kaman. At the moment, I'm not available to anybody because I'm at work, in a span.
Sure.
Do you understand? This is my first priority. This is my commitment.
Sure.
You understand? So it also goes with that. That's where now the principle of the 3Ds comes in.
Sure. As the 3Ds part of your book or something?
The 3Ds is part of my book.
Oh.
The 3Ds is part of my book because in everything you do need the 3Ds.
Sure.
Like you look at the podcast as it is right now.
Sure.
It has implemented
Sure.
the principle of the 3Ds.
Sure.
There was discipline, there was dedication, there was determination.
Sure.
And that's why we all here today. That's why the camera crew is there. You know, why they committed,
Sure.
they dedicated, they determined. And that's why we're having this whole platform.
Sure.
Yes.
We've seen MoFaya. Personally, I've seen you guys grow from where you started.
Yes.
I mean, the wholesale sector, that's people that were able to give you guys the break, and then now at least you can be. I mean, you are in multiple different stores, right?
Yes.
You are even going abroad. Where to from here? I hear there's more fire coming from MoFaya. What's some of the goals or things that you guys still want to achieve? Because you've grown, you have improved as a brand over the years.
You know, to be honest with you, the goal of MoFaya, it's not for it to just grow, you know, as a brand.
Sure.
All alone or just making money and all that.
Sure.
MoFaya, it's there to bring about more growth, not just for itself, but to everyone, every young person who's out there. Yes, yes. Basically, the principle of MoFaya is to teach young people as to opposed to young people looking for jobs. MoFaya is basically a tool that's out there for young people to make themselves, create themselves jobs. Sure. To say, here's the product, take the product, go buy the product, resell the product, make your own money. It's basically teaching young people self-independence, self-responsibility to say, the system in China, banyenza ukuthi nina nenzele bona inyuku. As to oppose to ukuthi wena wenzela omunye umuntu inyuku. Here's a tool, here's a plug where you can create your own money. Buy the thing, resell the thing. And that's what we're all doing. At the end of the day, for as much as I might be getting a salary, at the end of the day, I'm also creating my own salary. And that's where my own money gets to work for me. I no longer have to go and work for money. I make my money to work for me. That's another way of self-investment. I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my time.
You're paying yourself. I'm
paying myself. If I want to make 500 rands right now, I can easily make it. I don't have to wait for month end and all that. No. And that is why I'm because why?
Sure.
I'm a self money-making machine.
Dannko.
I don't wait for someone else to say, no, sebenza qala uzothola imali. No. Imali, if I want to make 500 rand now, I easily go out to the street, I can make 500 rand.
Sure.
You know, a lot of young people are making money out there.
So are you saying to me, I can sell MoFaya for a living?
Yes.
And like have that family set up, build a home?
Trust me, you so. Remember, everything that you say with your mouth, sure, it's what builds a home in your mind.
Sure.
You understand? So whatever that I'm telling you right now, whatever that you're hearing from me, already you've got images of whatever that I'm saying.
Sure.
Why? My voice sends a message to your ear. Your ear sends a message to your brain, and you start having pictures. For instance, let me show you how powerful is the human mind. You cannot tell the human mind what not to do.
Sure.
I'll give you a perfect example right now. Don't think of a horse. What are you seeing? What are you seeing in your mind? You tell the people, what are you seeing in your mind?
I'm not thinking about the horse.
Are you seeing a horse?
No, the moment that you say horse, automatically it will just...
I cannot tell your mind what not to do.
Sure.
You can't. And this is what people need to learn.
Sure.
You cannot tell the human mind what to do. So that it's an exact example that shows you that you cannot tell the human mind not to achieve. You are capable of achieving anything.
Sure.
Already, I could not stop your mind from not thinking of a horse. For the fact that there's that word horse, already that's where your mind is at. It's like a picture of a horse. It's thinking of a horse. Because I just told your mind basically in disguise what to achieve. It won't think of a horse because I told it about a horse. Though it came in a different form of it not being told about the horse, but it knows about, to say I had the word horse.
Sure.
That's what built a home in your brain. And that's why you can't stop your brain from thinking of a horse, because of already the word horse, it has built a home in your brain. You understand? And you look at it systematically. So everyone is born to be successful. You can achieve anything. Anything. we are all chasing after one thing. It's just that it's in different forms. But at the end of the day, we meet in one platform, which is the world of success. We all want to be successful.
Sure. For young people out there, you know, one thing that I love, the local brands are growing up. I've seen brands like our Kicks. I've seen brands like MoFaya. You know,
Our Patson, our Dream, and shout out to those, to those brands. You know, you guys inspire us. About Dream, about Patson, about Skinny Socks. You know, kunabo Loco Flame, kunabo Drip, kunabo Fire. Shout out to those brands. Kunabo MoFaya.
You know, there's a lady as well, Uzinhle. I think we will also bring her. She has a shoe brand.
Yes.
Maybe did you just say block?
Kunabo Block, yes. Abo Mswenko. There's another one that I saw recently. Was Komani.
Sure.
I mean, those are the local brands.
Nice.
Look, I was Skinny Smooth. There's Skinny Smooth socks. Actually, one of our camera crews, it's actually wearing Skinny Smooth socks. And you know, shout out to Skinny Smooth socks. I follow Usbu. Shout out to him, my brother. You're doing very well, and you know, I'm daily inspired by your work.
Sure.
And you look at a guy like Skinny Smooth socks, very humble, very humble. Akashai Tupa. He doesn't show off. That's one thing I love about that guy.
Sure. And from where he started, you know, also, Pelalomundlo, he started with, I was saying those two words, he started with Yama socks, but today he has a store and he has also other different clothing items.
Yes.
So it's no longer, the brand has grown, it's no longer about the socks in Japan.
That's a clear indication that black child, it's possible.
In the township economy, it can boom if we can come in together.
Yes.
As these different type of brands.
You know, exactly. It's like you look at the world of podcasts right now.
Sure.
It's no longer all about how well your podcast is known.
Sure.
You know, and it's all about the difference with these local brands. If you've noticed, they've learned one skill: to grow silently from the ground. You look at brands like MoFaya, we softly growing from the ground. From the ground and quietly.
From the scratch.
Yes, we're building from the difference with us. We're building from the ground.
It's not inherited.
No, we're building from the ground, from the dust.
Sure.
You know, in spite of all the critiques and discourage, we're
The
growing from the
negativity.
ground. Yes, you know, and that should be an inspiration for the upcoming brands. We grow from the ground.
And collaborate as well. You know, I love the fact that you can see Ipatu and Drip, they get along.
You know, MoFaya, Drip, and Patson, we get along.
Sure, there's a fridge.
Yes, MoFaya, Patson, yes, we work with them very well.
Yeah, he even shared
Uthio, yes.
On social media.
Yes, he's also one of my inspirations. And he doesn't even know that.
Alex.
Yeah, he's from Alexandra. He doesn't even know that. So shout out to Uthio. I'm a chance to shout out.
Sure.
Yeah, now but they know fail.
So what would you say to the young black South Africans that in Tuana, they just have these big dreams, they want to start their own brands, you know, they look up to people like yourself, DJ's Buddha, and all of these different brands. What would you say to them?
All I can say is, Ntana Sekai, the sky is the limit. You know, and nothing can basically limit you. Only you can limit yourself.
Sure.
And another thing, guys, we need to learn as young people to be sick and tired, or to be uncomfortable of being comfortable. You gotta be tired of being comfortable. You know, you gotta be uncomfortable to be comfortable. You know, because that time has actually ended. There's, you know, this is a hardcore truth. There's a wave of technology that's coming.
Sure.
And I would advise, even in your 9 to 5, I'm not saying people shouldn't have 9 to 5.
Sure.
Have the 9 to 5, but don't be comfortable in your 9 to 5. Have what we call a side hustle, and learn to have your money. Learn to have that 10 rand working for you. Don't be working for the 10 rand.
Multiple streams of income. Sure.
You understand? And one more last thing, Danasekaya, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. There's no job opportunity coming. No government that's coming to fund you. No investor. You go to the banks right now, you look at them. Go to the bank, like Manjo. Go to the bank and say you want 2 million, you want to grow this podcast. They won't give it to you. They will tell you they don't have it. Go to them and tell them, I want 2 million from Ferrari, which you pay in 3 years. And if you 2 million is away with 3 million, they will give you that money.
Sure.
That's a clear sign that nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming. They are very fast in wanting us spending money into nonsensical things, but in things that will build us. Nobody's coming to save you, to give you something that's going to build you.
But I need to be, as the black community as well, we don't have a great relationship with money. So I think the financial education side of things, because even with the business, in as much as you sell this and that, guys like DJ's Boo, he always emphasizes what he has made too many mistakes financially the time Asangena we industry compared to him now,
And that's where now it comes in. That's a clear sign that shows you basically systematically, so we're living under what we call, I would rather say we're living under what we call a systematical apartheid. That information that you're talking about, it's distorted. It's been hidden from us. Because right now you look at it, yes, I agree with you with the education system. It's basically failed a lot of young people, because you look at it, 99% of it, it's nonsensical education. It's 30% of nonsensical education, because right now as you speak, there's a child somewhere in Asia who's getting taught about mining. I quote from Kantalax, this child is getting taught about mining. But between me and you, just tell me right now, what are the basics of starting a mine, my brother? What are the basics? Can you see that we're being taught nonsense of education? 30% of nothing.
The public education, rather, the public education has been misfunded. So there's an agenda that want people not to see the light, because we spoke about knowledge earlier on, now we're talking about books. Knowledge is light, but some people, they don't want other people to be enlightened. When you come and you want to educate people, when you want to break the system, people are going to come to you, because what you are trying to show these people the light through knowledge.
And it's because of, they've realized the South African young people, they're the future and the strong brains of tomorrow. Because of, at the end of the day, you must notice Nasegela, they no longer want motivational speakers.
Sure.
There's a reason why, because they functioning under a certain system. So at the end of the day, hence I say Danasekaya, nobody's coming to save you. We're living in a hard time. You understand? You are lucky as you have people who will inspire you. Like I am lucky, I've got Abu Chase, I've got Abu Bani, people like yourselves. I'm lucky.
Sure.
So hence we need to strive and fight for that impact. When we make it, we get listened to. Let's give those young people that platform. The same ladder that we went up to.
Sure.
We need to stop this nonsensical mindset. It's every man for himself.
Sure.
It no longer works like that. There's a lot of people who are down there. And help our young brothers and sisters to go up the ladder
and collaborate.
We understand that. Because you look at it, 99% of young people are not working today in our country. Why? Because of the nonsensical system of education. 30% of nothing, where they will teach you how to label branches of a tree. Where do I get involved? Because the branching, how to label an insect. Where do I get involved in the insect? Because that thing, even if I study it, at the end of the day, it's not even needed on my CV. But label a low caste. Where do I get involved in that nonsense? Somebody has to actually say this truth. It's about time that somebody actually says this truth. Somebody has to tell them. Look at, guys, have you even researched the whole thing and the money, the new money?
The one that has wrong spelling.
Have you heard of the bond note from Zimbabwe?
No, I
go research about the bond note and look at the new money and tell me if they don't look the same. Go and research, and this is what young people don't know. Bond note, it's out of value. It doesn't even function anymore in Zimbabwe. I did my research and I found out. Same colors, same everything.
The new money.
The new money, it's more of a bond note. And little do we know, we're sharing a system whereby South African money is losing value.
Yeah, true.
It's losing value.
It has already, because now check the value of a clip and
it's
no longer like before.
It's nothing. It's like it's 10 rand.
Yeah, it's something that can sustain you for a day. Not even 2 or 3 days. Compared to 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at it, 5-10 years time, what's gonna happen to us if we don't stand up for ourselves? Kids from Asia and wherever, they're coming to rule us. Whereby they even come from a country whereby when you research, you find that in their country there's not even minerals.
Sure.
But now we're sitting here, we know nothing about minerals. We don't even know the basics of how to start a mine.
Sure.
How will I know the basics of how to start a company? Because for real, truth be told, that's the information that gets distorted and hidden away from us because they don't want us to know this information. So we gotta strive to teach each other. We gotta strive that if I don't know how to write a book, teach me how to write a book. How many young people are good in writing? But how many people are reading their handwritings? I get so heartbroken. A lot of young people are so concerned about the latest perfumes, about the latest cars, about the latest designs. But where are your designs? Where are your designs?
I need to want to show off the social media.
Exactly. And now I think it takes you back to why I don't really show off or show the things that I own or have achieved.
Or wear other brands.
Or where they, yes, I don't wear other brands. I'm always, because it's local. And imagine, we can go anywhere, let's say Newtown, wherever, and you're wearing your Gucci or whatever.
Sure.
That's okay, though, and then they'll ask me, where do they find
Sure.
a MoFaya jumpsuit?
Sure. Then
ask yourself why. Because the system was shy, we're busy growing other people's surnames. Dolce and Gabbana. Those are two brothers who came together in business. You don't even know that. Paul Smith. You understand? And that is why I say, this thing here is self-independence. Exactly. You look at Ekasi when there's people, because I know that self-independence. Abantu sebazi nama-time routine wako. Kungena someone ejaradini uzokufuna. Engifuna uwest hayi mancane 30 minutes sebazi nesikhathi sakho sokungena hayi 11-12 uzombona uyabuya manje 30 minutes nje 11-12 uyangena.
Mara angithi people will say people personal preferences rather. People have a choice in choosing where to invest their money. Because at the end of the day, in as much as we can speak about local brands, township economy, there are some people who prefer to spend their money elsewhere, and you can also dictate as to, but it's important as well to try and educate and enlighten people who say, guys, if we were to have what the Jewish community has in terms of circulating the money, what the Indians have, we can do better as a country, because where we are, unemployment rate is too high, we need to start being able to circulate our money amongst ourselves before it can go out. Then at least we can try to fight some of the social problems that we have.
Basically, the social problems, we fought them long time ago. But we didn't realize that systematically so.
Sure.
You look at it, I'll give you an example. Tina, we are, Tina, isizwe simnyama, we are powerful. Tina sanikezwa izinto. uNkulunkulu wasithanda so much that wasinikeza yonke into, but we lacked that knowledge of sin that we've got everything. Ask yourself, look at the system much, right? Zibuze, system yama-account. Which child do you have? A promoter, I'll give you an example. Let's say ama-account asema-accounts. Who sells ama-account asema-accounts?
It's us.
It's a black child.
Sure.
You know what? We've got a skill to sell. The selling skill. Each and every one of us as a black person, we were born with that. You look at the companies that we work for and all that. But seller every day, you don't even realize. 99% of the time, who's the consumer? We become the consumers instead of the sellers. Rebaba reki instead of rebaba rekis.
Sure.
And that is why bazohlala basithengisela. Sithanda singathi sizohlala sithengiselwa ngoba ngikubabonile ukuthi iskill sokuthi siyakwazi ukuthengisa asifuni ukusinotice.
Sure.
But okay, thina ithi siproduce bese sinike bona bathengisele thina. And bona food but you look at it, my brother. We are spanning the whole year. Come December time, bakana my bonus and all that. When you take the same money, we sell a. Thank you very much for giving us the money. Siyabonga for borrowing us the money for that time. Here's the money. You can have it back. Thenga ama-Jewish, ama-cricket, into ezingayenzi
Expensive friends.
We're not saying abantu shouldn't live. We all have to live. But be mindful on how you spend your money. Ask yourself,
sure.
Do I want this thing or I need this thing? Can I live without this thing or I can't? You understand? And that's where now young people need to learn about liabilities and assets.
And you know one thing that I love, VT once said this, in business we also have to understand whether we are building a business for lifestyle or legacy. Because with lifestyle, it's those things, the cars, the fancy clothes, but these other cultures, when they build a business, it's generational, it's for the up and coming generations. If you're pushing now legacy, you're also pushing for your daddy.
Yes, my son and my grandsons, yes. Because you look at it, that is why Bawas was clear. I'm able to wear a certain brand, a so-called big brand, and then come back to you. Don't be telling me, about your MoFaya, what. But now, those two brothers are sitting there laughing, like, look at him. He's so dumb, he goes and boasts to his brother that he's growing our seni. But who's growing your seni? They laugh at us. And he doesn't know that we're spending thousands on this. You look at all these brands. These are surnames. These are legacy surnames that are growing daily, yearly, monthly, weekly. And day in, day out.
They've been existing for decades.
For decades. I mean, you look at KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a legacy. You look at it, it's there all over the world. The owner might no longer be there, but this is generational wealth.
Sure.
And that's where now we need to learn that system, generational wealth. Sure. This is what abantu abafana about DJ Fresh, about DJ Smooth. Money, they're preaching these things. Guys, create generational wealth. Create generational wealth. And that is why people like this, they always try to be crushed. You look at Double Penguin, the Black Panther.
Sure.
These are people to learn from. Abo Mr. J. Mapoma. And learn from the such people.
There's those ones, like Twitter. It speak about what I said earlier about knowledge. There are those people like Abu Penwa, very smart guy. He wants to enlighten people, but there are those who don't like it, because they see with those spices.
And it's in a Bible in the corner. Where Jesus says to his disciples, you must know that if the world hates you, it has hated me first.
Exactly.
Abantu abafana nabo DJ Smooth, abo Penueli, abo Joshua Mapoma, all these people, those are the people of the light. So what happens? The darkness wants to blow them off.
Abafuneki. Sure.
You understand? Abantu abafana nabo-DJ Sbu, umuntu ozokutshela ukuthi Sibale, i-hustling there. They are not needed in the system.
Sure.
They want those people who gonna tell you, when we say hustling, hey, go pickpocket people, such people they listen to.
Sure.
You understand? But the ones who will show you the real truth, that candle has to be blown out because you're bringing light in the darkness.
Sure.
You understand? People like you who are gonna bring such platforms, you are not needed because you're bringing light. So you must be blown off.
Sure.
You understand? So yes, it's unfortunate, and we're not trying to ill speak any brand, any department,
sure.
or any sector. We're not, bad mouthing anybody here, but we're only sharing the light to say young people be aware, and choose your path very well.
Sure.
You look at how young people get inspired lately, Egas. It's because of the right motivations or the right people who are motivating young people are no longer there. Immediately when people get successful, we are moving something because now and young people are left with wrong people to look up to. They are left with that hot man, they are to try high still. You understand?
Sure.
You know the real motivation and influence.
Sure.
Why? Because of the right people. And that is why we need beg such people like about DJ Smooth, about DJ Fresh, about Penuel. Those are the people, thank God to the world of podcast. A podcast has created another world of communication actually for young people.
And the freedom.
You understand?
There's no restriction.
You understand that?
You are free to speak your mind.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not to sugarcoat this in Dannko. You are free to say things as they are, than mainstream media. Because what you have here, it's different from what you can have.
I understand. I mean, you look at recently, I just learned from DJ Smooth that actually I can make money out of YouTube by creating. I mean, people are making money. These platforms, podcasts, you can make money. It's another platform for young people that invest in a camera, invest in a place where you can create a studio, and you can make money out of it. It can pay you back. Invest in property. Gunabo Ekasi Noble Properties. Shout out to Ekasi Noble Properties.
Sure.
Abongonyama Lifestyle. These things are there for a reason.
Witness that.
We understand. I mean, right now, here's a platform. Abo Ghetto Media. I mean, this is a platform.
Sure.
We understand. So it's about time that use those platforms. Follow the right channels. Follow the right platforms.
Sure.
Don't be following some people, some celebrities somewhere. When you know about them, but do they know that you exist?
You understand?
And that is why we follow people that will know and pay attention to we exist. And people like yourself. I will always follow such people because of such a person knows that I exist. I will follow people like, about Witness Mtaga, about DJ Swoop, because those are the people who are interested to know that Ekasi and so, any initiative, any potential. How can we help that boy? You understand? And that's why I'm here today.
No, thank you so much for coming through, Virgil. I think your journey and your story, you are a testimony and you're a living proof that despite the tough upbringing that you can face in life, anything is possible. I love the energy that you have. And one thing, like I said, for me, that stood out through your social media content as MoFaya, because you always saying, yonke about you, it's about the brand.
Sure.
But as a child that comes from Alex, without parents, you've been able to change your life, and trust me, it's not everyone who can get an opportunity of working with the likes of DJs and having those type of relationships. So I'm inspired by your journey, and I'm proud of how you have been able to change your life and build positivity and become part of this brand and just grow, be an inspiration to the Dannko Alex. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, and lastly, I always say, and most times I don't like taking the credit.
Sure.
I always say to people, shh, it's not about me.
Sure.
What you see in me, just look up. It's that guy up there. I'm just an instrument that he's using to be that inspiration. I'm not saying, this is just a gift that has been given to me, and at any time it can be taken. So if you really want to see the reality of the gift, look up to the man upstairs.
Okay. Sure. I think we're gonna have you back when you have published the book.
Most definitely, sure. That would be great.
Yeah, so in as much as I'm complaining that December is far, but take your time because you need time in order to, it's a process.
Yes, sir.
It's not something that will just happen
overnight,
or a once-off type of thing. So yeah, just do your thing. How far are you with the book?
I'm really very, very close.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very close. As I said, I'm one person who doesn't really like to display imihambo yami, because on the other side, you never know who wants your downfall. Yes, build in silence.
Sure.
Let your work. I'm one person I believe span samses on kulme.
Sure.
Yes. Sure. I don't really like preaching with right now I'm doing this and no. Span sam nizosibona sizongikhulumela and span masesiphumile sisiqhumile.
Sure.
Nani nizosibona.
Sure.
Yes.
So 9, are you going to have a book launch or?
I will most definitely have a book launch. I will most definitely have a book launch.
Okay,
yes.
No, I think you're gonna come back when you have the book out.
Yes.
What is the name of the book?
How converting a stone into cash.
So you can sell a stone.
Yeah.
How? Sell the
MoFaya. It will be easy. We will be going out with the cameras and then the podcast. There's a clip that they will show you how we converted a stone or an empty can into cash.
Okay.
Sure.
No, thank you so much for coming.
And thank you very much for the invite.
No, I appreciate you,
sure.
Sure. That was the Monday edition, ladies and gentlemen, of Influential Mondays with Mr. HL. It has been a great, pleasing pleasure. From me, Hendrik Ledova, as always, I hope the episode, it was very informative to you guys. Whoever that wants to do something, start a brand, just do your own thing. It's important for us to collaborate as well. Take whatever that resonates with you, whatever that you feel that it's something that you can use, whether to improve your business or to network with other people. Take those lessons, and what doesn't resonate with you, you can just leave it. There's no need for us to be quality, beef, this or that. You just take what works for you and use it and just do your own thing. It has been fun. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you nothing but the best in everything that you do. From me, Mr. HL, it has been a great, pleasing pleasure. Dannko.
MoFaya.